So another question is what happens if you slip out after you get the device? Let's say you get the device and it slips out. Okay, I never suggest using the band again. We always want to just use the elator as a guide. So let's say you slip out. And I usually ask two questions, or one question in two different ways. So when you attach it and you slipped out, are you dry or are you lubricated? So if you slip out while you're dry, meaning there's no lubricant, you just put it on and it slips out, I suggest 2 sizes tighter, okay? But if you put it on and you're dry and it stays on, but then once you lubricate it, it slips off, I would suggest just going down 1 girth size. So if you slip out while dry, 2 sizes. If you slip out only when you're lubricated, go down 1 size, okay? Now as for the length, so this is important. We give you 4 different base rings, right? So you want to find one that's snug, but it's not too tight where it's cutting off blood flow. This is just a support device. It doesn't restrict blood flow or anything like that. So it's basically just going to hold it on the back, so it gives you the support, right? So what happens sometimes if it's too long, a couple things will happen. One, you point up, or the base ring starts kind of twisting to the side, starts twisting, trying to get some extra length. Or you just feel like you're stretched out too much. So if it is too long indeed, what I suggest is reattach it, use the base ring, and let the clip slide past the base ring. So let's say you're standing there and it's too long, and then you slide it back and you said, okay, that's a comfortable length. I want it to feel like that. I want it to look like that. Now we can see, you can use your fingers like a spacer. A lot of people do that. And you can see that's about a 1/2 inch. That's 1 finger length's distance you can measure. So if it's 2 fingers, you'll measure your fingers afterwards and you say, okay, that's 1 inch. So just use your finger as a guide. Just let it slide past it until you get to a comfortable length, and then you'll know, okay, well, that's 1 inch shorter. So I'm going to order 2 sizes length shorter. And when you're reordering the lengths, measure the shaft. So instead of using what you ordered, like say you ordered a 12, which is 6 inches, but if you order a 12, we're going to probably send you a 10. So that's 5 inches. So for example, if somebody orders a 12 and they say, oh, I want 1 size shorter, they order an 11, well, then we would send them one that's actually longer. So we wanted to avoid that confusion. So we just say, order the shaft in inches. So you can always just measure it, and like I said, the conversion is simple. So if it's 10, it's 5 inches. So you measure it from end to end, and then we can make you a shorter one or longer one in 1/2 inch increments. So that's the way to handle the different lengths and girths. Now, if it's too short, it's pretty obvious. You're pointed down, okay? So if you're pointed down, usually like a 45-degree angle, I usually say 1 size. If you're pointed straight to the ground, it's probably 2 sizes or more. And that one gets a little tricky because you need to basically hold the base ring, hold the shaft to the desired length, and then measure that space. So whatever space you're going to have in here is going to be the additional length. One thing I wanted to mention on the girth size. Let's say the girth size is so big you can't even put it on while dry. It slips right off, right? So in that instance, I literally just suggest getting some tissue paper and just kind of folding it up and then just lining the inside of it. Just enough to give you a little extra friction, a little extra to hold on there, and that way you can get the length measurement. But if you're slipping out without dry, that easily where it just won't stay on at all, then you might be even 3 sizes tighter on the girth, but usually 2 will do it. The other thing is, let's say it's too tight, but you want to check the length. So what I suggest in that instance is, let's say it's so tight you can't even close it. So that's fine. Just get it around the head, slide this up as far as you can. Maybe you only get it halfway or something like that. That's fine. So as long as it just holds on, and then clip it on the back. And the goal is obviously to be pointed straight out. So if you're pointed straight out, the length is great. You just got to figure out the different size on the girth. If it is too small, this is what I suggest, is wrap it around the head of your penis, and let's say it gets that far away. This distance is what you want to measure. So each girth size is a 1/4 inch in circumference. So if this is about a 1/4 inch away, you'll want to go 1 size bigger on the girth. If it's a 1/2 inch away, you want to go 2 sizes bigger on the girth. So that's how you figure out how to make a new shaft if the first one doesn't fit.